Real estate is filled with many terms that agents use all the time. We use that vocabulary so frequently that I think sometimes we fail to stop and explain them to our clients. These crash course videos are especially for buyers and sellers to help fill in those gaps. I'm Chris Whitehurst, and this is the Real Estate Topics Crash Course for Commissions, Concessions, and Conveyances, Part 1 Commissions. As a local real estate professional, I bring a unique set of skills that serve my clients in the entire Albemarle area. Using my skills in video, social media, and marketing, as well as my 20 years of experience as an educator, I bring the heart of a teacher to you to explain, teach, and inform so you can make the right decisions. Hey everybody, getting some questions from recent work with my real estate clients and a few emails over the last month. One of the things that I truly enjoy about being an agent is teaching and leading and guiding my clients. One of the main reasons I got into real estate, my agent, Mr. George Bright, when I was trying to sell my home and buy my current home, he was a great guide through my journey. He approached it with a true heart of a teacher, and to be honest, he really inspired me to get my license and use my experience and my expertise as a teacher to do the same careful guide and explaining to my own clients. When I was going to sell my home, I had no idea how a real estate agent got paid. I remember thinking I needed a professional to help me with this, but my wife and I were on a very tight budget and didn't have the cash in pocket to pay an expensive real estate agent to sell my house, especially in the middle of one of the toughest real estate market conditions we had seen in decades. I'll be honest, I was completely unaware of how agents receive their compensation or commissions. Nothing out of pocket. It all happens at the closing table. I'm explaining to you in this video how that all happens. When a seller and an agent sign an exclusive right to sell agreement, they enter into a legally binding contract in which the agent agrees to assist the seller in marketing their home to new buyers. Within that agreement, there's a section in which the seller agrees to give a portion of the selling price, a commission, at the time the home sells. Within that same agreement, the seller allows the listing agent to give a portion of the listing agent's commissions, usually a split, to another broker who brings us a buyer. This broker is called a co-broker, and depending on their agency agreement, remember we've got a video on the YouTube channel specifically talking about agency agreements. But depending on the agency agreement, that agent could work for either the buyer or work as the seller's sub-agent. The co-broker agreement is how a buyer's agent gets paid. So that's how we're getting the buyer's, the seller gets the commission, and they're going to split that with the other agent who brings a buyer in. Another question I get quite frequently is there's no set area commissions. To do so is against the law. It's called the Sherman Antitrust Law. It prevents monopolies, price fixing, those type things. It's been in effect for a very long time. It would be illegal for us to say all commissions in this area are X%. Every agent is different, what they offer. Every firm is different, how they set things up, how much of the commission sale, the commission percentage is negotiable. But those are the things that you should be asking. You should also be asking, if I'm giving you 5, 6, 7, whatever the percentage is, if I'm giving that to you, what am I getting in exchange? It's part of the job interview process, and again, we've got a video that talks about that as well. The commission for a seller's agent is earned when the agent finds a ready, willing, and able buyer. Typically speaking, the seller doesn't pay a buyer until a seller doesn't pay until a buyer is found, the offer is negotiated and accepted, and we get to the closing table. Again, there could be some exceptions here, retainer fees and that type thing. Again, that's one of the things that you need to talk specifically to your agent, but this is generally and typically speaking the way things work. When the money is exchanged for the home, once we get to the closing table, a portion of the sale is distributed to the agents for their work. Again, nothing out of the pocket of the seller directly. This is why, when we're talking about this is why it's so important to listen to your agent when they suggest pricing or staging or market suggestions. Remember, the agent is not getting any compensation for their work until they get the home to a price and a condition the buyer is intrigued enough to make and negotiate an offer. If we don't get the house to the closing, the agent is out all of their time for nothing. Very important that you understand that. That's how that working relationship begins. Let's be honest, everyone loves their house. Everyone thinks their house is probably worth more than it really is, but market trends dictate pricing, as does the condition and the staging. Let's talk about Fizzbuzz, or for sale by owner. One way that a Fizzbuzz thinks that they're going to save money is by not paying any commissions. they're still likely going to be asked to pay the buyer's commission of a few percentage points, and they're still going to be required to complete all the legal forms. Basically, if you're going into a Fizzbuzz, you're not paying a selling agent, but the buyer's agent who is coming to you to bring a buyer to you is probably going to ask for a percentage points to pay their part of the commission. And without an agent representing you as a seller, you're now working one versus one with a seasoned real estate professional. The money you think you're going to save on not using an agent, you're probably going to lose in not having as many potential buyers, mistakes that you may make, a lack of negotiating skills, and a myriad of other things that could just simply go wrong. And we're not even talking about the stress levels that you're going to go through. It's one of the reasons I think real estate agents is money well spent when you're looking to list your home. There's also an ongoing trend in called iBuyers, limited service agencies. They're online real estate professionals who offer limited services for limited fees. While this may be tempting, be sure you know what you're going to get. They may end up giving you less for your home to make sure it's going to sell, require you to do the showings and deal directly with the buyer's agents, and may not answer questions in the event that you need them. Make sure you know what you're getting. As we wrap up part one of the video, I want you to know in part two we're going to cover concessions. That's concessions are what buyers may be given to help offset the cost of the home. If you like these videos, there's more on my YouTube channel. We're always producing and creating content, also on Facebook and Google, other social media platforms. You can subscribe to my videos on YouTube. You can follow me on Facebook. Until next time, I'm Chris Whitehurst with United Country Floors & Umbrella Real Estate. Welcome home.